Hello again, Year 7. So I'm back with lesson 4 of our topic, the circle of life. So what I want you to do is just a quick recap of last lesson where we talked about different groups of vertebrates that there are. Okay, so what I want you to do is just really quickly, when you pause this slide, think of what groups these 5 animals belong in. So rabbit, what group does it belong in out of those 5 vertebrate groups? Lizard, pigeon, salmon, and frog. Okay, again, you don't have to write anything down. Okay, save it for the written task at the end. Just in your head, try and have a think. Okay, so if you pause the video now. Okay, so what you should have had is a rabbit is a mammal, because it gives birth to live young and it produces milk for those young. Lizard is a reptile because it's got scales and it lays eggs. A pigeon, okay, it's got a beak, it lays eggs, it's got wings, it's a bird. Salmon, it lives underwater, it's got gills and it lays eggs, so it's a fish. And then a frog can live both in water and out of water, and it lays eggs, so it is an amphibian. Okay, so well done if you got all of those. If not, I'm sure you got some of them. Well done for giving it a go. So, quick recap of the difference between vertebrates and invertebrates from last lesson. So, the animal kingdom is the group of living organisms that animals fall into. Okay, so within the animal kingdom, there are vertebrates and invertebrates. So, last lesson we learned about the vertebrates, which are the animals that have a spinal cord. Today, we're going to be focusing on the groups of invertebrates, so they're animals without the spinal cord, okay? So I know some of you are probably thinking what animals don't have spinal cords. Actually, there are quite a few, okay? And we'll talk about them in a minute. So, like with vertebrates, we can further divide invertebrates into groups. So vertebrates, we said there were mammals, fish, okay? It's the same with invertebrates. There's lots of different groups. And there's 2 big groups of invertebrates. So they're the invertebrates with legs and the invertebrates without legs. So invertebrates with legs are called arthropods, and there are 3 groups of arthropods, and there are 4 groups of invertebrates without legs. Okay, so what does this look like? Okay, so we've got our overall invertebrate group, and then we can further divide that down to make the group slightly smaller into invertebrates with legs. So those are our arthropods. And then we've got invertebrates with no legs. Okay, so we've got arthropods and then invertebrates without legs. So we've already subdivided our animal kingdom into 2 groups of vertebrates, invertebrates. Now we're dividing our invertebrate group into smaller groups again. So overall, there are 7 groups of invertebrates, 3 arthropods, so 3 groups of invertebrates that have legs, 4 groups of invertebrates that don't have legs, okay? So let's have a look at how we classify these animals. So if an invertebrate has legs and it's got 3 pairs of legs, so 6 legs overall, it's an insect. Okay, so we hear this word insect loads, and there are lots of things that fall into the group insect. Lots of people call spiders insects, but spiders have more than 3 pairs of legs, okay? So they actually fall into the group arachnids. So arachnids are different from insects because insects have 3 pairs of legs, spiders have, or arachnids have 4 pairs normally, okay? And they don't have any antennae. So when we think about antennae, they're, so think of a snail, they're what comes out of the snail's head. Spiders don't have those, okay? And then if an arthropod, so an invertebrate, has legs, it's got more than 3 pairs of legs, and it does have antennae, we've got our crustaceans. So crustaceans are things like lobsters, crabs, okay? You can see they've got 4 pairs of legs, sometimes more actually. If we're talking about lobsters, they generally have 5. And they have antennae as well, okay? So those are our arthropods. Then we've got invertebrates with no legs. So if they don't have legs, but they have antennae or tentacles, okay? then it's going to fall into one of these two groups. So if they've got a soft body, they're cnidarians, okay? And that's things like jellyfish. So if we think about how a jellyfish looks, I've got a picture of one here. These things aren't legs, they are tentacles. And a jellyfish has a really soft body, okay? So you can see why it would fall into this group. So if an invertebrate has no legs, it has antennae, and it has a hard shell, it's a mollusk. So if we think about our snail, let's have a look at him. He hasn't got any legs. He has antennae, you can see them here, okay? And he's got this hard shell, so he's a mollusk, okay? So if our invertebrate doesn't have legs, but it also doesn't have antennae or tentacles, if it's got a long body, it's a worm. So think about what a worm looks like. You can tell it's not got legs, it hasn't got an antennae on the front, and it's got that elongated body. So that's a worm. And if we've got an invertebrate with no legs, no antennae or tentacles, but they've got sort of like a hard spiny covering, it's an echinoderm, okay? And these are our starfish, okay? So you may think that the star part of the starfish are the legs. They're not actually legs, okay? So let's practice. You've got the flow diagram up here to help, okay? So I'll read out the information on our lobster. Then you'll pause it. You'll try and define whether what group it falls into, okay? So it's a lobster. It lives in the sea. It's got 5 pairs of legs. So these front ones actually class as one pair of legs. Does it have antennae? Well, you can see in this picture of the lobster's face, yes, it does. And an interesting fact is that lobsters have 5 pairs of legs, and on 3 of those pairs, they have claws, okay? So we've got these big ones at the front, but actually it's got smaller claws on some of its other legs as well. So use the flow diagram up in the corner to try and classify this lobster. So if you pause the video now. Okay, so let's work our way through this. We've got an invertebrate, okay, hasn't got a backbone. Okay, it has legs. Okay, we've got here that it's got 5 pairs of legs. Okay, so it's got legs. 3 pairs of legs, no. More than 3 pairs of legs, yes. Okay, so we're in this section of our flow diagram here. Then, does it have antennae? Yes, it does have antennae. So our lobster is a crustacean. Okay. So we'll do the same with this. This is a nautilus. He lives in the sea. He doesn't have legs. Does he have tentacles or antennae? Yes, you can see them all here. And an interesting fact about the nautilus is that his blood is blue. So we're going to do the same again, use this flow diagram up in the corner to try and classify the nautilus. Okay, so if you pause the video now. Okay, so we know it's not an arthropod because it says here he doesn't have legs. So we're going to go down this side of the flow diagram. Does he have antennae or tentacles? Well, yeah, you can see them in that picture there. And from the picture, does he have a soft body or a hard shell? Okay, we'll have a look at this. It's quite obvious it's a hard shell, okay, which tells us that our nautilus is a mollusk, okay? So what I want you to do now is remember, you don't have to do any of these activities. You don't have to write them down, okay? You just need to do them in your head, maybe chat with someone else in the room if there's someone there with you. Okay, so what I want you to do now is to match the group. We haven't got all 7 of them here, we've just got 5. Match the group with the group characteristics, okay? So if you want, you can go back in the video, use the flow diagram. That's absolutely fine, but you need to match the word with the group characteristics. So if you do that and pause the video now. Okay, so let's have a quick look through our answers. So arachnids, what you should have had, let's just follow these lines here. So what you should have had, they've got more than 3 pairs of legs. Remember, arachnids have four pairs of legs. They've got more than 3 pairs of legs, but no antennas. So arachnid, you should have had this as the characteristics. Crustacean, more than 3 pairs of legs, and they do have antennae. So that's the things like our lobster. Remember, lobster had 5 pairs of legs. It had antennae too. Insect has 3 pairs of legs. Mollusk, they have no legs, okay, and they have antennae and the hard shell. So that's things like our snail. And then cnidarians, okay, so they don't have legs, they do have antennae or tentacles, and they've got that soft body, okay. So which of these is false? Okay, so if you have a read through and come to which answer you think is false. So if you pause the video now. Okay, so what you should have had is that A is false. It says a spider has 8 legs, so it's classed as an insect. Okay, insect has 3 pairs of legs. Okay, so if it's got 8 legs, that's 4 pairs. So a spider is an arachnid. So A was the false answer. So we've talked about that the animal kingdom is split into 2 main groups. We've got vertebrates and invertebrates. And then we've talked about there are 2 main groups within invertebrates. We've got our arthropods and we've got then our invertebrates with no legs. So we've defined arthropods as invertebrates with legs. So why then do we have to further divide it? Why do we have to split up insects with 3 pairs of insects that have 3 pairs of legs from arachnids that have more than 3 pairs? What's the point in doing this? So we group living things because it makes it's beneficial for scientists. It can help them more easily identify things like new species, okay? So if they found a species, it's never been discovered before, they look at its characteristics, it allows them to be really specific with their groups, okay? So if a new species of spider is discovered that appears to be closely related to another species that we already know about, that other species could be venomous, then the scientist could predict that that new species is venomous, okay? So it helps to help scientists identify new species, and also it helps them predict characteristics which can be beneficial for lots of reasons, like knowing if they're dangerous or not. Okay. So, really quick recap. What would be your definition of the animal kingdom? Okay, so have a think, don't have to write it down, have a quick think, pause the video now. So you should have had that the animal kingdom is the group of living things that animals are put into. There are vertebrates and invertebrates within the animal kingdom. Okay, you could have said it distinguishes them from things like fungi and plants. Okay, so anything that says that this group is specific for animals. So our writing phase. You've got sentence starters here. Make sure you're using full sentences. Okay, I've on the pause symbol, we usually pause for about 15 minutes, okay? So give yourself 15 minutes, pause this, and then we'll go through answers. So if you pause it now. Okay, fantastic. So let's go through some answers. Make sure you add in any extra detail that you may have missed, okay? So the animal kingdom is the group of living organisms that animals fall into, okay? So the description can be that broad. So for working at, an insect is an invertebrate that has 3 pairs or 6 legs. It's an invertebrate because it doesn't have a spinal cord, okay? So that's why an insect comes under the classification of invertebrates. So it doesn't have a spinal cord and it's got 3 pairs of legs, that's why it's an insect. So working beyond, I know there's quite a lot of writing here, okay? So an earthworm is in the group worm because it has no legs, no antennae, and a long body. Jellyfish is in the group Cnidarians because they have no legs, but they have tentacles and a soft body. Okay. Tarantula is in the group Arachnid because they have more than 3 pairs of legs and no antennae. Butterfly is in the group Insect because they have 3 pairs of legs. So snail is in the group Mollusk. They have no legs, but they do have antennae and they have this hard shell. Crab is in the group Crustaceans because they have more than 3 pairs of legs and they have antennae. Okay. And then starfish are in the group Echinoderms because they don't have legs or tentacles and they've got this spiny covering. Okay. So why should we further subdivide the arthropod group? Arthropod is a general group of invertebrates in which species have segmented bodies and legs. Okay, so they've got different numbers of legs, different segments of different parts of their bodies. Whilst these characteristics are helpful for generally classifying animals, placing them into smaller subgroups allows scientists to identify individuals more easily. So in addition to this, it makes it easier for scientists to predict characteristics such as being venomous. Therefore, it's better to have smaller subgroups as it helps to organise arthropod populations more accurately. Okay, so if you missed anything out there, not a problem, just add it in quickly in some green pen. Okay, and then we're going to write our sentence for today. So today I've achieved, remember we put the word of what we've achieved and then we put the reason. Okay, so this is summarising what you've learned today, so you know when you finish this lesson, oh, I've come away knowing, for example, if you've got up to use, I know how to classify a wide range of invertebrates. Okay, so if you write your sentence now, and don't forget, so for every lesson we've got those 10 multiple choice questions on Show My Homework as a quiz, so make sure you're doing that, okay, just to summarise your knowledge and show us how you guys are getting on. Okay, well, thank you very much, Year 7. I'm sure you've all done fantastic work, okay? And you'll hear from me next when we do lesson 5, okay? Stay safe. Bye.